Hello and welcome everyone to another video. Today we're going to be discussing, based on the information we've been given so far through the cryptic tweets of Concerned Ape, of what is possibly going to stack in 1.6. We're going to be going through Concerned Ape's tweets one by one, as well as any other information I can come across. And we're just going to make a little list here. So let's go ahead and do this. So here's our first information about 1.6, and it comes in the form of this tweet, Iridium Scythe. Luckily, Iridium Scythe, as cool and interesting as it is as an item, and I'm very excited about it, doesn't really have any chance of stacking. So our next tweet, coming in Stardew 1.6, new festival, new items, more dialogue, and secrets. So the only relevant things to us here are new items and secrets, and possibly this here, which I feel like these two are kind of redundant. I'm not sure. So a bunch of people have speculated on what this is. The majority of people that I've heard have probably said what I think is probably pretty accurate here, in that this is some way to get around having to collect all the golden walnuts by spending money. Possibly only available if you do the Joja route, but again, I don't think there'll be anything stackable. I mean, there's coins on it, but those are just coins, right? Maybe you can collect coins now, but it's probably just gonna go money, right? Here's our first big thing here. Lots and lots of people have speculated a lot of things about this image, and now we're going to look at it from a purely what can stack perspective. I think my initial speculation for this like big weed was that like that little divot at the top would regrow forges, so it'd be like a way to get forges in like the late game content, because that's one of the things here. New late game content expands the skill areas. This might be a way to like regrow forges, but I guess we kind of already have that, so maybe not. My guess is these eggs, which are definitely eggs, I'm fairly certain, are going to be stackable. So let's start with those. We'll call them brown-ish egg. Every other egg in the game stacks, so I imagine this egg will stack as well. I've seen a little speculation about this. My initial thought is it looks a lot like a television. I think that was my initial thought, so maybe it would like tell you about fish and stuff, but there's already a TV channel that does that in the game, so it would be kind of odd to double up on that. Auto Fisher? Yeah, I saw people think that as well, Farland. It could be some kind of auto fisher thing. The question is, do we think that it is something that's craftable? Because if it is craftable, I can definitely stack it. And if it's not craftable, it's still possible. Like the auto petter is not craftable, it's buyable, and you can stack that. Looks like a new sign to you. Ooh. If it's a new sign, all the other signs in the game are stackable, so this sign would probably be stackable as well. Here's the thing that makes me think it's not a sign. There's like a little drawer at the bottom, isn't there? I don't think you'd want that in a sign. Stackable, but not be able to get more than one. We'll put this as a maybe. Fish TV thing. Chance of stacking, we'll give this like a 90% chance. I don't know, what do you think, chat? Like a 50% chance of being a stackable item here? Yeah, I'd say 50-50 on that. New major festival, that sounds really cool. Maybe there'll be like a new rare crow or something. I don't know, there's no way of knowing that. What about this? Does this look like something you can even pick up or place down or craft? Like, it's much bigger than everything else. Either it's really zoomed in like high detail, or this takes up like 4 tiles, right? Decoration, we're thinking. Well, the good thing is decoration doesn't stack, so what percentage do we give that of stacking? We'll call it big fiber thingy. I'm gonna shoot low and say like 10% chance, probably like 5%. I would almost say 0, but like there's a chance, right? Not big weed. It's kind of like a big weed, right? Yeah, I'll call it a big weed thing. That's probably a better way to put it. I'm gonna go with 5%, in my opinion. The last thing up here is the star with the little anime hair floof on the top. I've seen a bunch of speculation, but I want to hear what you guys think. It's like a necklace. Interesting. It's very green for a necklace, right? I assumed it was something like natural because of the green color. Junimo charm? Ooh, yeah, it could have something to do with Junimos. Roomatable Junimo token? That's just expanded looting. So far, most of the stuff that has been said are things that would not normally stack. We'll call it like green star thingy, and I don't think it has a very high chance. Oh, maybe though. 2% chance. We'll make a minimum of 5. And I think 2% is probably a good guess though. So there are new items and crafting recipes. So that is our first thing here that actually guarantees, I don't know, it doesn't technically guarantee it, but there are very few crafting recipes in the game that don't stack. So this pretty much guarantees that we're going to get some stackable items, which we kind of already knew. All right, we got 3 new items here. We have the quiver looking thing. We have the purple juice, and we have what is definitely a totem of some kind. And honestly, we'll call it purple totem. The fact alone that it is a totem tells me that it's got like a 95% chance of stacking. I'm going 95. All other totems in the game stack, even the ones that are hard to make. If this one's craftable, it'll probably be pretty expensive. My other thought process is that it's purchasable from behind the key door, because my thought was this entire row are things that are purchasable behind the queue door, because they're all kind of purplish. I'm gonna guess this is gonna stack too. We'll call this purple, I don't know, what is it, juice? We'll call it purple Q juice. I'm gonna put that at like an 80% chance of stacking. No, higher than that, right? It looks like an item that would stack. Oh. Thanks, chat. Don't call me a doofus. It's hard up here. Are we gonna get a bow and arrow? Like, I'm not even going to speculate what it's about though. My guess is whatever this is not going to stack. It seems like an item that you would maybe have in your inventory or maybe would be in your wallet. Oh, you think they're fireworks? They don't look like fireworks to me. Like maybe there's one that's like slightly sideways, but like I've never seen fireworks stored in like a bag like this before. Quiver to store ammo. That's what I was thinking. But if that's the case, it's not going to stack, right? I'll just call it a quiver. And I'm going to put it at 5%. We're going to make 5% the minimum. Okay, there's some kind of ticket here. There's some kind of package and there's some dude here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the dude is probably not going to stack. Leo's dad. Mystery fertilizer. Ooh. My initial thought process was this was going to be for the festival. Okay, we're going to call this a orange ticket. Okay, what percent chance do we give of that stacking? There's good, compelling reasons to think that it would stack. There's also compelling reasons to think that it's not going to. 90, 95, 25. I would definitely put it on the upper end of things. I'm going to go with 90 because I think it's probably going to stack, but there are some reasons why it might not. How about these fellas? What do you think this is, first of all? The question mark invokes like you don't know what's inside in one way or another. Loot box? Are we getting loot boxes in Stardew? We're gonna call it a question blue box. This seems like something you'd get a lot of, right? Like this isn't just gonna be a one-off thing. I don't know, that's my opinion on the matter. I think we're gonna go with 65 here. Only thing left on this page is froggies. I don't know. Like there's 3 colors of frogs here. Are we gonna be able to stack frogs? Are we gonna be able to catch them? Are there gonna be different varieties? Do we have to like put them in the barn? They seem pretty small, sprite size compared to like a chicken. A frog hutch, 100% stackable, we're thinking. There could be like frog row, colored froggies. What are our chances on like different stacks for each color or the frogs themselves being stackable? And then we'll also do frog eggs. They come out of loot boxes. I'm gonna put like 20% on the froggies being stackable. Frog eggs, I'd say about 50-50. We haven't seen any information about frog eggs, but like there's so many other eggs in the game. If we're counting like roe and everything else, it just seems likely to me that there will be ones. Now this is something that's really cool. We're gonna put hats on our pets. Unfortunately, I don't think this pertains at all to stacking. Maybe frogs can get hats too. All right, we got something new here. Now this one is gonna be kind of hard to quantify. So one thing we can say for certain, any disagreements there? That comes from a keg. So almost certainly we're gonna get wild pickles. I'm gonna go with 95 on this one. If one forage item can be stacked, I imagine like most of these are also going to stack, right? Some of them already do. For instance, salmon berries already can, and we're done with those. Grapes, spice berries, fiddleheads, wild plums, blackberries, and crystal fruit all can already be put into kegs and jars. So this is basically like finishing up the rest of these things. I don't think any of our beach forage is going to stack. I mean, I'm gonna be able to put that stuff any differently. Cave carrots though, that might. Let's start with the one that I speculated that would give me a ton of trouble. Mushroom artisan goods. I think mushroom juice sounds absolutely disgusting, but like so does wild horseradish juice. So like I'm thinking pickled morel and like morel juice are going to be a thing. I see 70, 65. I'm pretty convinced of it. So I'm gonna go 75. Leek juice and leek pickles, that kind of makes sense to me. But does daffodil juice and pickles make sense to you guys? Spring onion makes sense. Daffodils are poisonous. That would be difficult, yes. The thing is like dandelions and daffodils are both forages in game though. And like everything else works on the tag system. So basically like the things that are tagged fruit, when you put them into a keg, you get wine. All veggies, when you put them into a keg, you get juice. And now we have wild horseradish confirmed to get wild horseradish juice. So I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It seems likely to me you get poisonous tea. I don't know, it's possible. It doesn't even seem that unreasonable, right? Like in the game, the daffodil doesn't poison you. It just gives you 0, right? The red mushroom actively poisons you. Red mushroom pickles are going to be very tasty. We'll call it flower forge. I'm going to put it at 50 myself. I think it's like a 50% chance. Other forge. I'm going to put this as like 80%. Beach forge. I'm gonna put that at 5%. Actually, you know what? This is going up to 90%. The blob next to the horseradish juice. I don't know, chat. What do you guys think that is? It's definitely green, so it looks natural of some kind. Then again, the wild horseradish juice is green, and that's anything but natural. We can call it a green blob for now. It looks weirdly stackable. I kind of agree with you. Like it looks like something that would stack, right? It looks swampy. Yeah, we've got some speculation about swamps being a thing. I'm gonna go ahead and say that it's probably pretty likely it's gonna stack, even with the limited information I can see about it. I think this is a giant Q fruit, which implies to me that there'll be more giant crops. The thing about giant crops though is that they don't like have any stackable components to them. And we get to our last tweet, big chest, and a different sprite here, which I would assume is like a bigger stone chest as well. And I can say with certainty, in my opinion, that these are going to stack. Hardwood chest. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be called. Well, actually, we do know what it's going to be called because it's just big chest. It stacks bigger stacks too. Cat lady, please. I only have so much time to live on this planet. I'm very excited for this. This is going to revolutionize my storage system. And I haven't heard many people talking about this, but there's something here, right? It could be a new hat, but like it seems kind of low res for like a new hat. Yeah, this has got to be a new item. He wouldn't have cut the picture like this if this wasn't a new item. We're going to call this, I don't know what to even call it, white thing. I'm going to give this a 50% chance of stacking, whatever it is. The reason I'm giving it 50 is because it doesn't seem like it's a very specific thing. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to go 30. I think it has a high chance of being like a hat. Cotton. Oh, that could be it. Another way to turn wool into something. Oh, okay. Like a growable cotton. Ooh, that might be a thing. And that I think is everything. The only thing left is just my general speculation. So I said like a year ago, Terraria added a bunch of Stardew stuff. Does everyone remember that? I am like 100% certain that there's going to be some Terraria Easter egg added to the game. I'm going to go ahead and give that like a 10% chance of stacking. All right, chat. Do you guys have any other idle speculation? At least one new crop. Ooh, good point. And those will be 100% stackable. Any new crop in the game is going to have artisan goods. Stackable living hat? No. The new tree type. Oh yeah, there is kind of like a new tree. Yeah, we'll go with new tree, mangrove. I'm going to give that a 100% chance to stack as well because all other tree seeds stack. Cooking item. If there's anything new in the game for cooking, it will definitely stack. Has there been an update without a new fish? I'll put question marks next to the ones I'm not sure will actually be in the game. But if there is a new fish, guess what? I think that's basically the end of our speculation here. So let's try and get like a count here. So my guess was about 30 to 60 new stackable items. And I don't think this has changed my opinion on that. This seems like a pretty good estimate to me. And I think that is where we're going to end things for now. Go ahead and leave a comment if you have any new ideas about what might be stacking in 1.6. And I will definitely be making a video when 1.6 comes out, going over each and every new item that stacks, where it's going to go in my spreadsheet, and how we're going to stack it. So I hope you'll join me for that, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.